Rose has been waiting all morning for the mailman to bring this package. Let's see what's in here. She's excited about it. Probably the paper, lid, ear tags, the mark for calves. Ooh, another milk bucket. Is this what you're looking for?
Everybody's gonna be happy.
Bottle babies. Bucket number 2. Everybody's gonna be able to get a drink at once now.
Okay, so Greg thought that feeding our bottle babies, which have now been bucket babies, would make a good video. So here I am. I'm going to tell you kind of what works for us and what we do, but just like anything, there are, what's that expression, thousands of ways to skin a cat or something like that. Anyway, lots of different ways to do it. So I'm going to tell you what works for us, and hopefully you can take some pieces or parts of it and make it work for you. We have this board in our barn. We call it the barn board. So during fair season, we'll write each of the animals down one of these columns, and we'll kind of track what they're eating, and then we'll record their weights over here every week. We got a place up there for daily tasks, a place to write our lists and our calendars, and then a place for the boys to write their quotes. But it's hanging on the wall, so I'm going to utilize it for this video just to be able to show you a couple of the calculations that I do. So hopefully that helps explain clearer what I'm doing when I do it. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through kind of how I do the math in my head, and I wrote it out so hopefully my explanations make a little bit more sense. So the first thing when I'm batch feeding a group of lambs is I have to kind of work backward and figure out how much total milk I need. So the recommendation is 10% of a lamb's body weight. So right now I have 6 lambs that I'm batch feeding, and they each weigh approximately 10 pounds. So that's a total of 60 pounds of lamb. I need 10% of that to work backward, so I need 6 pounds per feeding. Now 6 pounds, I'm going to convert that to ounces. So I need to do 6 times 16. Do that right down here. So I need 96 ounces. But the measuring cup that I use, it's a lot easier if I work in cups. So I'm going to convert those ounces back to cups. So we know that 1 cup is 8 ounces. So doing my math down here, 96 ounces divided by 8 ounces to a cup is going to equal 12 cups. So I need a total of 12 cups of milk replacer for this feeding. Now the milk replacer is 2 cups of water per 1 cup of powder. So I need 12 cups of water. For every 2 cups, I need 1 cup of powder. So I need 6 cups of powder. One of the things that I like to do is I like to divide up that water, hot and cold. So mixing up milk replacer with hot water helps it dissolve a lot better. I find that the powder gets more evenly distributed, all those little globules break up, which in turn is going to make for better digestion for the lambs. However, I'm feeding in a bucket, and if you put that bucket in front of those lambs with warm milk, they are going to attack it. So it's a little bit better to feed it more at room temperature. So what I do to get it down to room temperature, I want to mix up my milk and I want to feed it right away. I want to mix it up with hot water, but I want to cool it down too, is I kind of do a 2 to 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up that hot and cold water. So I need 12 cups of water and 6 cups of powder. I'm going to use this pitcher in my measuring cup. For every batch that I mix up in this pitcher, I'm going to make it 4 cups of hot water to 2 cups of cold water. And I'm going to repeat this 2 times. So this pitcher will hold 6 cups, 4 cups hot, 2 cups cold. Because that's 6 cups and my powder ratio is 2 to 1, there'll be 3 cups of powder in each pitcher. So I'm going to do this 2 times. 1 pitcher, starting that right here, equals 4 cups hot, 2 cups cold, that's 6 cups, so I need 3 cups powder. So that's my plan. I'm gonna mix this up twice and then dump it in the bucket. Okay, I'm ready to mix up my first batch of milk replacer. So like I said, I need 4 cups of hot water. The hot water is gonna help the milk dissolve a little bit better, make that powder dissolve a little bit better. I'm gonna dump this into my pitcher. I'm gonna come back to the cold water in just a minute. First, I'm gonna add my 3 cups of powder. Make sure you're getting good, even cups, just like cooking. All right, so I got my 3 cups of powder. Then I'm gonna stir, 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 stir. You want the lambs to be able to digest this really well. So you want to get all those little clumps broken up. I don't think you can over stir this stuff. All right, but I still need to add my cold water. So remember, the cold water is going to bring it down more to room temperature. Mix it with hot to get that powder dissolved. Add the cold to bring it down to room temperature. The hot will help with the mixing. The cold will bring it down to room temperature so the lambs don't overeat. Keep it stirring. Okay. Ready to add it to the bucket. I'll talk about the buckets here in just a minute. Pour that in. On the buckets, I rinse every time I add new milk, and then I wash them with soap once a day. And just add some additional syrup. Okay. Let's pop the lid on. Maybe. Let's pop the lid on. Okay. We are ready to take this out and feed it to the lambs. So everybody's finding their supper. So them are eating on the same nipple, but that's fine. This one must not taste as good. There you go, buddy. The buckets came from Premier One Supplies. Worked really well. They have 3 nipples on each of them. The bucket holder. So that really saves a lot of time when I don't have to stand out here and hold a bottle for each of them. The lambs have been growing great this year. We've been really happy with what we've seen. I know you get kind of nervous when you start seeing them missing a nipple, but I can tell you they are not going hungry by any means. Getting a lot of growth. So a few questions that we get when we talk about this method of feeding is, does the milk freeze? They're eating it quick enough that we really haven't had any problems freezing. Now last night dropped down around 0. And there was a little bit of ice in the bottom of the bucket this morning. But they had more or less eaten everything that was in there. Another question that we get is, do we have any problems with bloat? That feeding the milk at a cooler temperature helps make sure that they are not gorging themselves when the fresh milk is right here. So that certainly helps with that. Of course, with any kind of bottle baby, you want to make sure that they have their CDT shot. You don't want any issues with clostridial diseases. So, of course, we vaccinate our ewes for Clostridia, which then passes some immunity along to the babies. And then these guys will get their first dose between 1 and 2 weeks, and then a second dose to follow that up. show you the creep pen while I'm in here. So we started them. We have a heated room where our jugs are. We started them in there for a few days. And for those first few days, I was feeding them every, 3 or 4 hours. They're to the point now where they're just eating twice a day. And so I'll fill these buckets up twice a day like I just did. In the creep area, lots of fresh straw, which is important to keep them comfortable. The light, a lot of times you'll come out here in the middle of the day and they're just underneath that. And then creep feed. You want to get these bottle babies started on creep feed as soon as you can. So we're offering 2 different kinds. We have a textured feed and then a pelleted feed. The goal would be to wean these right around 4 weeks if possible. So you want to make sure that they're having lots of fresh water by then. They're often eating on grain. Milk replacer is expensive, but from the management side too, you want to get those guys weaned as soon as you can. So those are a few things that we've seen with this. So in this video, I told you about how I batch mix it. Told you about the buckets. And then I told you a little bit about our creep pen. So a lot of people call bottle lambs bummers or bum lambs. These buckets definitely help make sure for us on our farm that we're keeping these guys healthy and growing. So might be bums today, but in a few weeks they'll be caught up with all their friends. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed a glimpse at our cute little babies. Catch us for our next video and hit that subscribe box to watch and learn more about farming beyond the box.